you'd think that they would have it the hardest, if they do have it the hardest of any prisoner, but you'd think it would be on site whenever they got seen, whenever someone see them or heard about who they was, where they was, recognised them, that they get it straight away. That's not always the case, and it's changed. The lot, you know, the later in life it's getting, the less and less people seem to care about crimes. You know, a long, long time ago, people would have looked down on, well, burglars, you know, what I am. But I'm talking about, even for someone like me, like woman beaters and stuff like that. Now jail's full of them, and people sort of like, yeah, all right, I'm doing my own thing, you know. Don't get me wrong, they still have it. 9 times out of 10, they ain't gonna be they're gonna get it, especially if you're a bacon pedo. I'll give you an example of when people the person's left alone. Good few years ago now, I forgot exactly when it was. I'm in Pentonville. There's a geezer on the wing. Everyone talks to him. Everyone knows him. Well-known fellow. He's not a hidden not hidden away. He's always out. He's up front. Loud. You know, allegedly he's quite he's quite high up in an alleged gang. You know, he's got a lot of money around him. A lot of the younger people in his gang all look up to him, regardless of what he's ever been done for in his life. I'll tell you more about that. He sold gear on the wing, drugs, knocked that out. And he'd have a tear up. He could look after himself. He's built like a tank, built like a proper unit. Yeah. Remember one day I'm just chatting to him at Soch, and he's asking about a visit, if I knew anyone that would come up on a visit, like carrying a parcel. Nothing ever panned out over it, so, you know. But late at the end of Soch, my cellmate, who knew him as well, always talked to him, spoke to him more than most people, honestly. Said, what are you chatting to matey about? And I told him, I was having a chat about a visit, blah, blah, blah. He went, oh, yeah. And I'll just say quick, the reason I was banged up with this geezer is because he was on closed visits, right? Closed visits is you're behind the screen, you're behind a glass, you're in a box, little coffin, little box thing, glass in front of you, your visit's on the other side of the glass. There's no human contact, they can't pass you a drink or anything. And it's a punishment. He was on there, he was on closed visits through suspicion, I think. I think it was through suspicion. He sold gear, he sold loads of it, and he was red hot as well. He didn't care. I mean, if he wasn't on closed visits, he would have 100% been going out there all the time, copying the parcels himself. He used to enjoy doing it. And, you know, his view was, if I'm doing it myself, I'm getting more for myself. You know, he don't want to be sharing it and giving me anything. But he was on closed visits. That's what he had to do. He said, like, what was you talking to matey for? I said, he asked me about a visit, blah, blah. He went, you know what he went to jail for a long time ago? And don't forget he's pals with him, really, more than what I am. I mean, no, go on, what? He said, a long, long time ago, he got nicked for this gang. It's YouTube, man. I've got to use the word grape or airy ape. I'm really not trying to make light of the situation. It's just YouTube's weird about that word, man. Part of a gang grape on a woman. And it was a big famous case. In newspapers, on the news. Got convicted of it. Got quite a long time for it. It was brutal. I'm like, yeah. And yeah, because he was allegedly in a gang, had all the gang members around him, quite high up in that. Plus he sold gear. Plus he could look after himself, and he was 6'4", built like a unit. No one ever said a word to him. No one ever said a word to this geezer. Everyone gives it large about grapers and bacons, pedos. Everyone gives it large about them. Says, it's on site if they get seen. It's not always. That geezer, I see that with my own eyes, man. Hey, listen. Afterwards, I probably still spoke to him. Probably about it. I must have. I wouldn't have just stopped speaking to him if he'd have nodded at me. All right, you know. But I'll give you a couple of examples of when it goes the other way, of when they do get it, and they listen. The majority of times when they get found out, they get it, and they are on all the wings. They're not just on protection, but this one was on the protection wing. We go back to Chelmsford again, induction wing. I work on the induction wing. One of my jobs, one of them, worked on a servery. Yeah, there's 2 spurs on the induction wing. All right, I forgot the name. Spur 1, spur 2. 2 floors on each spur. One of the floors on one of the spurs, not the one I was on, was for people that was on the numbers. So you'd have, you know, the grapers, the bacons, the people that got in debt, the grasses, people that had beef and all that. Yeah, but it was mainly like bacons and things like that. Yeah, they used to get kept separate from everyone. They'd have different soaps to everyone else. They'd be let out of the cells different times to everyone else. Get let out for dinner last every day, apart from everyone, like away from everyone else. Didn't matter to get out last. We used to have to save their stuff. The screws used to protect them like you wouldn't believe, mate. Made sure they got their stuff. Anyway, like I said, not all the boys on there are in for offences against women and kids. Yeah, some of them just get debted up to the eyeballs when they're on the main wings. They just get totally like debted up through smoking spice, and then can't pay it, and end up going, can I go on the numbers? Now they've had to graft to get put on the numbers as well. They don't just get put on the numbers. They have to give a little bit of info, like who do you owe money to, who sells the gear and all that, right? You just listen. When you're on that wing, you got to suffer some of these things. Yeah, we had cushy. We had cushy jobs. Insiders. We're out till like 11 o'clock at night, working on the servery. You got to stomach these things, yeah. And, you know, they're coming through for dinner. Maybe sometimes their food got dropped or a little bit of whatever. You know, small victories. Anyway, they're coming through. Mate is coming through. That's like debted up, yeah. He was always in and out of jail. He'd always get debted up, and he'd always end up on the numbers, yeah. He's coming through. There's a geezer getting let out last, and if I remember rightly, I might be wrong here. He was from Chelmsford, yeah. The case was from Chelmsford as well. That's just from my recollection. I might be wrong about the Chelmsford bit, but he was part of he owned a cab stand. He weren't English, and he was abusing little English girls, white girls, I should say. Him and his mates, passing them around, abusing them. You know, think Rochdale and all that. Yeah, this was happening in Essex too. We told give the old deadhead a couple of things. He's only a little tiny kid, really. Told him, like, go and do that geezer there. Not me personally, someone else. So he's run off, he's put his thing down, just run at geezer and hit him. This big geezer was a big geezer. We thought, if, like, you know what I mean, if it's one of them, it looks like one of them, if this little kid misses him or hits him not good enough, then he's just going to get annihilated. He's going to get poggered, yeah? It weren't like that. This geezer shitty, so like basically went down into the fetal position. He's hitting me. And just little midget boy, a little deadhead that can't fight to save his life. If he could, he wouldn't be on the numbers. You know what I mean? Kicking the shit out of him. He only went on for 5 seconds. But this geezer, it was good to see him. Not having a good time. That's what I was trying to say. It was good to see him. You know, seeing it for what he really was, which was a coward. Yeah, and he didn't get up. It was all humiliation thing, wasn't it? Really, good thing. Yeah, at least he got humiliated. You know, pain is temporary, pride is forever. One of my teachers said that. Why did I just quote that? It was a div. Another one in Aylesbury. Everyone in Aylesbury is 18 to 21, doing over 4 years. When I was there, doing over 4 years, 18 to 21. You know, that was a lot of lifers. A lot of lifers got sent there, yeah. A lot of troublemakers got sent there. Now, prison wing, and a normal prison wing, just same in Owlsbury, same as any wing in any prison. You know, usually it's a beige colour, painted beige, and the cell doors would be red or green or blue or whatever. But that's about it. You know, you might get a border somewhere, a bit of blue paint or something. You know, the railings will be cut, good thing, but it's a plain wing. It's plain, it's dead. It's like a hospital wing or something. It's colourless. And when I was in Owlsbury, my job was working on the estate party. Estate party, that's just the name of the job. It was basically, I used to walk around litter picking, going to all the wings as well, emptying out the bins. I'm not talking about going onto their wing and emptying out their little bins. I mean, their wheelie bins outside, emptying them out, all the black bags. If you could get your head around the fact that the odd rat would jump out at you here and there, it was a good job to have, because you know, you're walking around in the fresh air in the sunshine, and I was doing 6 years at the time. I just want to get all the sunshine I could. Obviously, we'd have to go and clean. We'd have to go and go to the wrong-uns wing, yeah. Screws even called this wing Fraggle Rock, right? That's what they used to call it. You're talking, you know, when we're talking of this wing, we're not talking about people that are on the numbers here. We're talking about proper wrong-uns, mate, yeah. Bacons and grapers of the highest mean disgustingness order, yeah. And even walking up to this wing, you could see in here their social room. I've just described what a normal social room looks like in any prison anywhere, whether it's a YO jail, kid jail, or an adult jail. Beige, like colourless. You know what I mean? It was painted. It was decorated out like a nursery. Yeah, it had a picture of like Winnie the Pooh, Mowgli, Jungle Book characters, My Little Mermaid. This, that, waves over there, bubbles on that wall, sunshine with a smiley face, like in bloody Teletubbies. Why? You know what I mean? They was allowed goldfish in their cell. Goldfish. They had goldfish out on the landings that they used to feed. I know certain prisons, like certain lifers, like jails, are allowed budgies and things, and yeah, I can understand that. But why were these people put into a wing that looked like a nursery? And apparently, because back then, I don't suppose so much has changed, because they weren't actually committing crime, was they? They were just ill. They were sick. They need help. They need treatment. What? So you paint their social room, their snooker table, like where their snooker tables are and their pool tables, to look like a nursery. You've let them do it. It's actually them that did it. What? Look at the activities they're doing over there as well. They've been let out of the cell to paint collages. And we're talking beasts, like Owlsbury used to do. When I was there, Owlsbury mainly dealt with violent crime and sex crime. Yeah. Obviously, like, there's other people there that are shot in and things like that. But that's mainly what it dealt with when I was there. So you can imagine some of the wrong-uns that was on this wing. Let me go back a little bit, actually. I'm at the healthcare one day, yeah. I forgot what I had to go there for. I forgot. I'm in the waiting room. There's a film on. I'm watching TV. It's a long wait. It's all afternoon. Like, you're talking hours, yeah. It's only me, and by the end of it, it's me and some little midget kid in there, yeah. Little weirdo looking kid. Sideburns, greasy curly hair, glasses, a silly little thin goatee beard, power as anything. Literally 2 foot tall. Got a silly little high pitched voice, yeah. Just chatting away. He's clearly just waffling to me and telling me lies, yeah. What you in here for and all this, yeah. Telling me he's in here for like GBH, he's done this to someone, stabbed him, cut him and all that, yeah. I'm just like, yeah. I'm just thinking, his little man, he's lying. You meet them sort of people with Joe all the time, yeah. Anyway, I go for my appointment, he goes for his, we go back to our separate ways. I'm talking on the wing now, chatting away, just talking about this little donut that was at healthcare, waffling to me. And someone went, oh, that's blah blah. I'm like, what? Yeah, like, this is what he's really in for. And he killed a little kid. I'm talking like 5, and he was like her uncle. Yeah, family party. I'm not even going to say what happened, yeah, because it's like YouTube. Like, probably get taken down for saying what he did. It's disgusting, yeah. And then he killed her at the end of it. And her mum and dad found her in the most unnatural pose after what he did and all that, yeah. Filth. That's what I'd been talking to him for a couple of hours. Right, but what are you going to do? Is, yeah, it's still like I'm not going to pretend that I was really angry. Like, you know, it was like, oh, I could have got him if I'd have known, but we're never going to see him again, are we? Anyway, I'm back on the estate party now. I'm outside. I'm litter picking. We go to F-Wing. Fraggle Rock, as the screws call it. We go around the side door. Yeah, we don't go through the. We don't go to the front door. We go to the side door. There's some black bags that are getting brought down. Open up this door, and there's stairs that go up. Yeah, up and probably lead to the 2's landing or whatever landing it had. Right, many landings it had. Leads all the way up, whatever. And there's these prisoners walking down with bin bags. Who's one of these prisoners that is walking down with a bin bag? It's little sideburn Sid, isn't it, mate? Yeah. Now, this weren't set up. It weren't set up in any way, shape, or form. I mean, the screw that was out with us. I mean, he was the number one at the estate party. That was his job. He worked in the estate party, taking us litter picking every day. Lacks of concentration, whatever. He was standing outside, chatting to the other screw outside the door, outside the wing. We're inside collecting these rubbish bags off these 2. Off old sideburn Sid is one of them. Now, this hallway, it's only used for this, like, you know, bringing rubbish down, probably so the screws can run up and down it quickly. It's not done up in any way. It's got no carpet on the stairs. They're concrete stairs, and it's a concrete floor. Now, old sideburn Sid was what, 4'5"? Not even an exaggeration. Nothing of him. His little mate managed to get back upstairs, yeah. But just say he fell down these concrete stairs, yeah. And as a requirement for the estate party, you have to wear your green trousers, gloves. You've got your donkey jacket if it's cold, but you've got to wear steel toe cap boots. You've got to wear steel toe caps, yeah, to protect yourself from all those black bin bags. But you can imagine if he fell down these concrete stairs, and then say if prisoners were like standing on the 4th or 5th step or whatever, and then falling off onto him in their steel toe caps, it's not going to hurt the person falling down the stairs with their steel toe caps, is it? Yeah, it's going to flatten old 4-foot sideburn Sid like a pancake. Imagine if you keep falling down the stairs, all of you. I don't know how many of you are, 7, 8, I can't really remember. But all of you keep falling down the stairs onto this plumb for like 30 seconds. For a good 30 seconds. Not long, but just enough to fall down the stairs a good few times on top of him with your steel toe caps. Screw come in. See what was what. Again, it weren't set up, but you see what happened and got us out of there and went mad, but didn't do nothing. He'd have probably got in trouble for letting us onto the wing and leaving us while he was outside chatting. And I doubt he felt that too sorry for him either. I'll tell you what, when I was in Bedford talking about aerators and all that, when I was in Bedford, there's some characters in Bedford, man. That's a polite way to put it. But there was 2 transgenders, yeah, on the wing at the same time when I was there, on the same wing. Now, before this, I'd never seen one transgender in the whole of the jails ever. Yeah, actually, I've seen one in Pentonville. He kept going in and out of there. He was always in and out of there. He was just gay, actually. But there was 2 transgenders in Bedford at the same time. Yeah, and there was also a gay man having a relationship with a non-gay man, and I was living in the same cell, right? it's all at the same time, yeah. So the gay geezer's come out his cell one day to go for dinner. Someone's waiting in their cell for him to walk past and just pull him in. I'm in the jail as well. I'm on the wing, on the other wing, and he just well, imagine what he did to him in the cell. Hairy ape, done him in the cell like while people was going to get dinner. Could hear it all going on. No one did nothing. You're not going to, are you? This was a big old lump and all. If anyone's ever seen the geezer that can make his eyes bug out of his head, I'm sure he was on like Britain's Got Talent or something. Big old fat geezer made his eyes bug out of his head. This is what this hairy apis looked like. That's what his eyes looked like, bulging. Scrooge took him down the block once he'd done his beans. And what you can't wait. You can't wait for bang ups. Like what? You're that uncontrollable with yourself that as soon as dinner opens, as soon as the door gets open for dinner, you've got to get hold of a bit of man bun with your man sausage. That's Bedford, mate. And the morals in jails are going down and down and down. It used to be. I mean, it might even be like that in the double A cats and the dispersals and all that, but B cats and lower, depends who you are, mate. It generally does. Depends if you've got a gang standing behind you or not. If you enjoyed that, hit subscribe and we'll chat tomorrow. Adios.